Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Paolo who was only 5 years old. Paolo was a happy and curious child, but there was something strange happening in his life. Whenever there was no adult around, Paolo would end up on the floor, even if he had been placed on the bed or in a car seat. His parents began to notice this peculiar behavior. Every time they left Paolo alone for a few minutes, they found him on the floor, crying and scared. They couldn't understand what was happening, as the house was safe and there was no reason for Paolo to leave the place where she had been left. One night, Paolo's mother decided to ask her son directly what was happening. Sitting on the edge of the bed, she asked, "Paolo, why do you always end up on the floor? Are you falling or moving on your own?" Paolo, with his big innocent eyes, looked at his mother and said in a whisper, "It's the old lady, Mom. She pushes me." Frightened, the mother asked, "What old woman, dear?" "There aren't any old women here." Paolo pointed to a dark corner of the room. "The old lady is over there, Mommy. She doesn't like me in bed or in the chair. She always pushes me to the floor." Paolo's mother felt a chill down her spine. There was no one there, just shadows. She tried to calm her son, saying it was just his imagination, but she couldn't get rid of the feeling of discomfort that accompanied it. The days passed and the strange behavior continued. Paolo was increasingly terrified, and his parents began to worry seriously. They then decided to watch Paolo without him noticing, hoping to find out what was happening. One night, Paolo's father stood guard outside the room. He heard his son talking softly and slowly opened the door to peek. What he saw left him speechless. Paolo was sitting on the bed, staring into the dark corner of the room. Suddenly, he was thrown hard onto the ground, as if an invisible hand had pushed him. His father ran to him and took him in his arms, trying to calm him down while he looked around desperately, seeing no one. The next morning, Paolo's parents called an expert in paranormal phenomena. After careful investigation, he discovered that many years ago, an elderly woman had died in that room. She was known for being a bitter and lonely person who didn't like children. The specialist performed a ritual to help the old woman's soul find peace and move forward. After that day, Paolo was never pushed to the ground again. The old shadow disappeared, and life in the house returned to normal. But the family never forgot what had happened. And Paolo, even as he grew up, always remembered the old woman who pushed him, as a dark reminder that some shadows are more than just the absence of light.